everybody, and welcome back to Higurashi no Naku Koroniya. We are heading on to chapter 6. So, like my fears predicted, bad things started taking a turn for Rika, and seeing her depressed is just utterly disheartening and really sad, to be perfectly honest. But it's interesting now that Satoko's uncle came back, and it seems now that Shion is there, Shion's taking the role that Keiichi did in when Keiichi murdered um the uncle. So we'll see. But it seems like Keiichi remembered again. So I'm really, really, really hoping we can finally get a chapter with Keiichi to see if he's like actually remembering to help Rika. Or it could be entirely possible that all of that won't necessarily happen until next time. But it already happened a little bit, and this has got to be triggering something for him because he's saying things that he wouldn't know if he didn't remember. So, let's continue. Yes! Damn it, why did she do that? That's about what I expected. Mion called me in the middle of the night. The social worker went to Satoko's house tonight after getting a call from the school. They had a talk with Satoko and her uncle. He told them that Satoko didn't go to school today because of a cold. He also claimed he didn't call the school because they didn't have the number. He explained that he spoke with Chi politely and that she just misunderstood his behavior. Satoko didn't really talk, but she never denied what her uncle was saying. So she said there's no abuse and she doesn't need any help? Yeah, Satoko's always thought that her brother disappeared because she kept relying on him. That's why she thinks she needs to handle it on her own without seeking anyone's help. Ridiculous. According to the social worker, she didn't have any obvious injuries, so they think this isn't an urgent case. It seems she's being fed and she has a place to sleep, too. Shouldn't that be a given? Are you saying it's not abuse as long as she has somewhere to eat and sleep? That's how they view it, at least. In some cases, people even refuse to even let the social worker come inside the house. Just because they were able to talk with their uncle tonight, they determined it wasn't urgent. So after all that, they decided to just wait and see. I bet Shion's disappointed. Yeah. Just like how Satoko refuses to seek anyone's help because of Satoshi, Shion's also desperately trying to save Satoko because of him. She seems calm now, though, even though she's very upset. I know this isn't the time for complaining, but where the hell did Satoshi go? His sister's in danger. I have no idea where he is. I know. I'm sorry. I was hoping that he would save her if he came back. But it's a waste of time to think about that. I can't hope for someone else to save her. We're the ones who have to. That's right. We have to do what we can. I'm impressed with the power of the Sonozaki family, though. You have information from the social worker already. You must have a spy in the center. That's a national secret. So, you know someone who knows a lot about the center? Did they give you any idea what we should do next? Well, I was advised to just stay calm and see what happens. What the hell? Did you talk to them about the situation she's in right now? Her uncle is locking her up and he's abusing her. Why should we just kick back and see what happens? Well... Hey, this is not my opinion, okay? I'm just telling you what I was told by my contact. See, it is true that Satoko didn't show up at school today, but it's just one day. It's not like she's been absent for weeks or months. We can't really deny the possibility that she has a cold. But she's being abused! You're saying we should stay calm while she is being physically and emotionally harmed? Wait a minute, Kay, that's the whole point. We're concerned because we know what happened to her last year, but she wasn't hurt yesterday or today. We can't prove if she's being abused or not. She may not have a bruise on her body yet, but it's only a matter of time. Besides, isn't it abuse to force her to come back and live with him? Remember what we were talking about at school? It's normal for a legal guardian to take in child their custody. We can't definitely say that it's abuse yet. But we have to do something before it happens! I'm sorry. I knew it wasn't Mion's opinion, but I felt like she was telling me that, and I raised my voice. When I sensed her dismay, I quickly apologized. I explained to my contact what happened to Satoko last year, but last year's case was resolved by waiting it out too. Last year's abuse only stopped because of the fourth curse, right? It's not like the Child Consultation Center resolved it. Still, either way, both last year and now, the Child Consultation Center doesn't think her case warrants that much urgency. It seems our opponent this time is the difference in urgency between us and them. I see. We've done what we can. Now we need to come up with Plan B. We should have a meeting tomorrow. With all the fearless members of our club. We've gone through worse before this. We'll save it for sure. Yes! As we spoke, I felt less angry about the decision that the child made. It was something we expected anyway. I was being emotional for a while, but Mion wasn't taking it personally. She's usually a tough person, but I know she feels very weak when something like this happens. I have to be careful not to get too emotional with her. Our enemy was Tepe. I couldn't yell at my friends because I was frustrated. I almost forget sometimes, but Mion is a girl. There's no way yelling at her without cause wouldn't hurt her. I think I have a tendency to lash out with my emotions sometimes. I definitely need to rein in that bad habit, especially during emergencies like this. All I could do by myself was probably the same thing Shion was suggesting earlier. But I knew it wouldn't make Satoko happy. We club members are fearless, but the power I possess is the smallest among all of us. That's why I need to communicate with them. If we're united, we would be able to come up with a better plan. I couldn't think of a plan all by myself. 3 heads are better than 1. We would definitely figure something out. I'm going to call Rika. Will you call Reina? Sure. Reina was a good match for Shion today. She impressed me. She's tough when push comes to shove. Yeah. Reina's always reliable when we're in trouble. But you impressed me too, Kay. You were kinda cool today. Now I'm embarrassed. That speech was a little corny, huh? I'm hanging up now. I'm sure Reina's waiting. Give her a call, okay? Yep. Say hi to Rika. I think she's been hurt most by this. Rika was looking at the ground with a depressed look on her face all day. My chest hurt just remembering it. It must be even more painful to look at Satoko. Mion hung up the phone. I also hung up, then called Reina. She picked up the phone after one ring, which surprised me. Hey, Reina? You were waiting for the call, huh? Yes. I called you, but it was busy, so I didn't know what to do. You called me when I was talking with Mion. She's calling Rika now. She told me to call you. Let me explain. Is the case on hold? Yeah, unfortunately. I'm really upset, but that's what we expected. I can guess what they said. It's only been a day, so there's nothing definite. She may have missed school because she really had a cold. Plus, she doesn't have any obvious injuries, is my guess, right? Did you put a bug on my phone? Yeah, you got it. It's total bullshit. It's only been a day is such a horrible phrase, isn't it? Especially it'll be too late after he really hurts her. If it really does, then Satoko's injuries will be plain for everyone to see. But if that happens, her uncle will never let any social workers see her. And they'll just say they couldn't find any signs of abuse and go back to waiting again. It's such a huge contradiction, isn't it? Apparently they need court approval to force entry, but applying for that isn't easy. So while social workers may suppose to have great legal power, in reality their hands are tied and they can't act if the family turns them away. They're not the police. They're not the ones who storm in even if they have to break the windows to do so. Then who does have the right to break those windows? If we did, I'd smash them. Anyway, they're not serious about the case. They have no idea what will happen to Satoko if we don't do anything. I'm impressed. Wait, why? You just moved to the village not too long ago. You've only known her for just a few months. But you're so serious about saving her. You don't even know what happened to her last year. But you can imagine how hurt Satoko is right now. If you were an ordinary person, I'm sure that you'd tell us. Just relax, it's only been a day. It's not that difficult to imagine how horrible it is for her. I also heard from you guys how terrible it was last year. It's no question this case requires immediate attention. That's still impressive. You stopped she when she was trying to leave the classroom. What you said was pretty deep. Do you think Satoko would appreciate it if you saved her by committing murder? It's not something an average boy would say. In fact, I'm sorry, but I thought you were going to say something like what she suggested. That's Irena. She saw right through me to the core. To be honest, I was able to keep my calm because Shion caused that commotion. I too thought our only option was to kill him. What's there to hesitate about? Everything would be resolved if we went over and killed her uncle. I thought those same things myself. And then I thought about how I would actually kill him. First, I'd assault him with a metal bat or something. But before that, I'd scope out his house, dig the hole to bury his body. When I envisioned myself actually digging the hole with a camping shovel in the woods. I repeated, "This is for Satoko, this is for Satoko" in my mind like a mantra, trying to forget the weight of murder ahead. I relived that. Exhaustion, frustration. I could very clearly imagine myself standing there, soaking with sweat and covered in mosquito bites. Then, I'm sure I'd call her uncle or something, lure him out of the house and bludgeon him to death. Then I repeated my mantra, "This is for Satoko, this is for Satoko," blaming her for the serious crime as I tried to avoid my own guilt. Did Satoko ask me to do that? Am I going to blame it all on her because I committed the murder? Would she appreciate that? I wouldn't be able to tell anyone I had killed someone. No one would appreciate my deed, and I have to carry that burden for the rest of my life. The pathetic future is one I couldn't have imagined in the rush I felt before carrying out the murder. I decided to kill him so I could return us to happier times. But the act of that murder also meant shattering the thin path that could lead us there. I was able to imagine it that far ahead. That's why I didn't say it out loud like Shion did. If I hadn't thought that far, I probably would have joined Shion in shouting, "Kill him! Kill him!" It would have been really hopeless if you had done that. I'm glad you have such a vivid imagination. I'm glad. Was that really just my imagination, though? Did I imagine killing her uncle in my mind? Could imagination alone really be that vivid? I could smell the earth, taste the scattered dirt flying into my mouth, see the pebbles scattered as I shoved my shovel down, hear the roots cracking from its weight. The image was so real. It felt more like I had actually done it in the past. That's right. It's important to imagine the consequences. You don't want to grow up with no imagination. I think you'll grow to be calm, reasonable adult, Keiichi. I wonder if it was my imagination. I feel like I've been through a different life before. People with good imaginations can take a look at every possibility. If you really felt like you saw the future, I think it wasn't just your imagination. You saw a possible future that could have happened. In that imaginary world, the Child Consultation Center put her case on hold too. Satoko came back to school for a while, but she broke. after only a few days. Satoko was bearing the abuse, but even something small would be enough to break her. Just like an old bowl that has a crack in it. One day, that crack will eventually widen, and the bowl will shatter. In my imaginary world, Satoko broke when I rubbed her head. She thought my hand was her uncle's hand. She pushed me and hid behind the curtain and cried out for her brother, saying, "Nini, Nini!" Who told you that she called her brother Nini? Huh? I don't know. I guess someone did. That's what she calls Satoshi, right? Anyways, it was devastating to hear her cry like that. I wanted to comfort her, but I couldn't even get close. She cried more as I walked closer to her because she thought I was her uncle. You're amazing, Keiji. I can't believe that was only in your imagination. That's exactly how Satoko was last year. I remember it clearly. But it's impressive how you can imagine it since you've only been here a few months. You really are amazing. So that explains why you feel the same urgency we do. So you feel the same way? Of course! I can't imagine it as clearly as you have. But I think Satoko will break in a few days if we don't do anything. I think she will hide behind the curtain and scream for her Nini. That's when we'll finally realize something. It's not a crime to be powerless. It's a crime to do nothing. Huh? It's only in my imagination, but I'm crying as though it happened right in front of me. Reina can also sense how urgently we need to save Satoko. Not everybody feels that way, though. My friends all do, but they're special. And normal people, like those at the Child Consultation Center, see us as overreacting. They have a point, though. We don't really have anything to say back to them if they're going to claim it's only been a day. It's just like getting a cold. Doctors always say, let's see what happens for a couple days. Reina. I think we should trust our instincts. We have no time to spare. We have to save her. Yes. Even if I can't come up with a good idea on my own, together we can accomplish anything. When I was down and depressed before, someone told me the same thing. I think now is the time to come together and show people what we can do. Yeah. I don't know who told you that, but that's exactly how I feel. It was Keiji. It was strange. I've had this feeling ever since Reina told me the story at school. I felt like I too once learned a lesson after some event. But Reina and I only met recently. Guess it's just a coincidence. Anyways, I was so lonely inside my imagination. I thought it was stupid for them to only sit and think about how they could save Satoko, and I made a selfish decision. But I eventually learned, just like Reina did. You'll never come up with anything good by worrying about something on your own. You have to talk to your friends. That way, they'll help you reach the best possible solution. You said something when you stood in Shi's way today. You told her to trust you. You said you didn't have any idea yet, but that you would find one. I'm going to trust you. I believe you'll come up with the best solution. Don't just rely on me. Just give me any ideas if you have any. What I meant? I have faith in my friends all the time. I'm going to trust us. I know we can save Satoko, but we're not going to use a shortcut. That's right. We'll save her. Keep on believing. I believe in us too. I will never think that I'm the only one trying to save her. I believe we all feel the same way. Let's have a meeting tomorrow. She might have new information too. We might not be able to come up with a good idea right away, but she might have something. Yeah, you're right. I know there's always going to be another option. That's right. We're not going to give up. There is a better way. I'm sure there is. We may not find it right away, but we'll never give up. Oh, never. Mian praised it for her too, but Reina really is strong in a crisis. I got a little emotional when I was talking with Mian, but Reina is different. Her fire is quiet and blue. So at first glance it seems lesser than my bright red roaring blaze, but the truth is opposite. Blue flames burn far hotter. As I spoke with Reina, I felt my useless wild energy calming down, so I could rationally search for the best solution. Through that, I felt Reina's strength, though apparently Reina felt similarly about me. When I'm talking with you, I feel like I can accomplish anything. You're so strong and reliable. I feel more courageous when I talk with you. I feel more confident we can save Satoko. I get calmness from you, and you get confidence from me. We balance each other out like that, huh? We're a good combo. He has a lot of power as a member of the Sonozaki family, but she has a very frail heart. But I believe that you and I can support her. That's right. We have nothing to be scared of. I agree. Talking to Reina made me feel very confident. If I can share that confidence with my friends, I'll never feel down and miserable again. I'm going to give my power to the other club members so we can fight even harder. Rika's really depressed right now. She lost her will to fight. But I'm sure she'll get that back when she sees us working hard. You're right. When she gets her willpower back, there's nothing that can stop us. I'll see you tomorrow. Let's talk about our plan and involve the principal too. We should get advice from as many people as we can. Let's find the best possible solution. That's the best thing we can do right now. I got off the phone with Reina. That was a pretty passionate conversation we were having. It's unfortunate that Child Consultation Center came to the conclusion they did. But if they could still decide to wait and see, then that proved that Satoko was still safe for now. We are no more than children. Worrying about it too much won't cause us to come up with any good ideas. Murder isn't a real solution, but I had to admit, I thought about it once. It's easy to burn up in rage. However, I'd have to stay calm, like Reina. She was still burning up very calmly with a quiet and blue flame. I'd never seen anything like that before. Keiichi, go take a bath already! Hurry up! I heard my mom speaking to me. You can go ahead, Mom! I needed more time to think about what to do with Satoko. Everyone else was probably doing the same. You should go first. There's bath salt from real hot springs in there. It feels real good on your skin. I don't think there's bath salt in real hot springs. Milkshake's so good after a bath. Your dad seems to be in a good mood. He probably finished his work. He's as scary as a bear when he has artist block. Maybe. Maybe my parents could help. They're the closest adults to me, after all. Doi. Should I talk to them? Stupid question. I had no reason not to. I'd have to talk to them and seek some advice. Dad, I have something I want to talk to you about. What's this? Is it about the auction at the coming festival? You have my full support. Speaking of which, when is the next festival committee meeting? They called me to participate too. I'll have to mark my calendar. Oh, it's not about that. My classmate is in trouble. As I talked about Satoko, my mom joined and listened as well. My dad is a strange artist, but my mom is a normal person with common sense. She might be able to help. I just got a call and found out they're putting their case on hold. We're wondering what we should do. They were called Child Consultation So you should let them take care of it. But she was being abused last year too, right? I don't know how bad it was, but I think it's wrong for him to force her to move out of her friend's place. He was neglecting her for a year after all. We can't just wait and see what happens just because this consultation center said to. We're her friends, so we want to be more aggressive about saving her. But we have no idea how. Keiichi, don't even think about attacking him. I'm not! I wouldn't talk to you guys if that was on my mind. That's true. I thought you might ask us how to commit a perfect crime. Hey, I would never ask my parents something like that. I think. Keiichi, you're right. There are many battles in this world, but it's always important you follow the rules. People won't help you if you're going to break them, and they won't respect you either. You have to fight according to the rules. Are there even rules for battles? Well, anyway, do you have any ideas? My parents have been alive for more than twice as long as me. They must have some experience with things like this. They must have many good ideas. At least that's what I thought. But they crossed their arms and went silent. Calling the Child Consultation Center is the first thing you should do. But what do you do if that doesn't work? Do you think we can even rely on the law? Do you think the police won't do anything unless Satoko's seriously injured? I think you have to make an appeal. Appeal? What do you mean, sue him? That's not it. The consultation center is supposed to take care of child abuse cases, but if you're unsatisfied with the decision they make an appeal to the court. Keiichi, you go to court when you can't resolve an issue with the person you're dealing with. It's the final place you go. You want the child consultation center to protect Satoko-chan, right? But they made a decision you disagree with. And we needed to make an appeal to the Child Consultation Center. If we're unsatisfied with the decision they made, we can simply go and tell them that. We need to go there and explain to them how serious this case is. That sounds good! They have no idea what situation Satoko is in right now. Since they misunderstood what was going on, we have to go there and make it clear. I see. That is the best approach. I don't know about that. I've heard they never change their decisions once made. It might just be a waste of time. We don't know until we try. Giving up before trying is what losers do. We have to try everything we can. Remember what the principal said? We'll fail if we give up before even trying. Shion, your fire is blazing bright red. Ready to do whatever it takes, even if that's acting hasty to save Satoko. But truly hot fire is blue and calm. Don't give up. We should do everything we can. What do you think, Chi? Am I wrong? No, you're not saying anything wrong. You've calmed down a lot. I was concerned for you because I thought you might come up with an idea to attack him in the dark. That's what my mom was saying. Is that how people perceive me? I thought we should wait and see what happens. But after hearing everything you have to say and thinking about what happened last year, I now understand this is an emergency situation. People can change their minds if you're persuasive enough. The Child Consultation Center might change their mind too. They might reverse their decision if you succeed in making an appeal. What do you think? You should fight with us rather than thinking about it alone. I'm not feeling lonely. I'm not sad because I'm all alone. You do sound awfully sad, actually. Maybe you do want to join us. Whatever. Fine, then. Let's just go to the Child Consultation Center. I'm going to punch them in their faces if they don't do something. That's not a good idea, but I feel your passion. I guess you calmed down after getting some sleep? I'm just serious about this, is all. Anyway, let's go make it happen. I know where the Child Consultation Center is. This old man didn't know until recently, but it's on the first floor of the library. Mion grinned and showed us the location in the city guidebook. She's really prepared. The office is open till 5:15. Don't try and pick a fight with them. We have to stay calm. What? Are you talking to me, sis? Who do you think I am? I'll cry if I have to. Our goal is to make them change their mind. That's it, she. I think we can make it if we leave right now. It was past 3 o'clock. We'd made it before they closed if we rushed there on our bikes. But they're strict about time, aren't they? They might kick us out as soon as it's time to close. The door will close on time, but once we're inside, they'll never kick us out. Listen, make sure you don't give in when negotiating with these officials. Officials are surprisingly tough, but unlike private citizens, they're not allowed to end the discussion on their own. So when you feel like you can't get anywhere by continuing, don't give in. You have to dig deep and make sure they listen to everything we say. How do you know all that, me? Who do you think I am? I represent Oryo Sonozaki, member of the mayor's social gathering and local government monitoring committee. I speak to government officials all the time. Hey, Mion, is it possible to save her using the influence of the Sonozaki family? Well, not if I have to go through Granny. Ugh. It's impossible to get help from her. Her mind's still stuck in the damn conflict. 100 million with one spirit and stuff like that. She hates the Hojo family to this day. You're talking about Satoko's parents who were for the Dam Project? I've never met your grandma, but she needs to learn how to forgive. It's a thing of the past now. Exactly. I agree with you, Kate. So the Sonosaki family can't do anything? Can't. I'm sorry. Old people are so stubborn. They cherish Rika, but they don't care about Satoko. That's horrible. I can't forgive Satoko's uncle for aggressively abusing her, but I'm not about to forgive other people quietly abusing her either. Tell those people not to piss off Keiichi Maibara. I'll do that. I'm getting a little irritated because this is, I mean, it's the same story, it's just something different that's happening with the same story so far, so we need a little bit of a change here. I mean, yes, he's remembering things, but there's no, like, aha revelations, so it literally feels like I'm just reading the same thing, except for, like, variated. Shall we go now? We have no time to waste. Alright, we better hurry. Let's go. Do you want to come with us, Rika? Let's go! Reina spoke to Rika, who had been avoiding the conversation. She seemed to have given up all hope yesterday. It was so painful to see her so depressed. It's just a waste of time anyway. You have to stop saying anyway. You don't know if it's a waste of time or not unless we try. You people did everything you could in your previous lives, but you never found a way to save her. You think this time will be different? Sometimes I really had no idea what she was saying. All I could tell is she was being negative about the situation. I really want to punch everybody when they say that. Like, tear up, be good. God, dude, she's lived 100 times. She's seen this so many different ways. I understand. She's devastated. Have you tried going to the Child Consultation Center already? Then we should try. Satoko is important, isn't she? We have to try and see what happens. I'm sure Satoko needs your help right now. This world is going to end soon anyway. What's wrong? We have to hurry. Rika doesn't seem to be interested. So much for friends. She's so close to Satoko, but she won't even get off her butt to save her. I never thought I'd hear you say something like that. You used to hate her so much. What? Is your brain working all right? Why would I hate Satoko? Never mind. Fine. I'll come with you people. I have nothing to do at home until I drink until I pass out anyway. You're pissing me off. Are you trying to make a fool out of me? Stop it, Chi! You stop it too, Rika! Rika's kind of funny. I mean, it's really sad, but it's kind of funny when she's given up all hope. She stops acting like a cute little girl. She stops facading. Let's get together and save Satoko. I'm sure we can make a miracle happen if we work together. But we need everyone. We can't leave any one of us behind. We need you too, Rika. Something that Mina said must have given Rika motivation. I could see a slight sparkle in her eyes. Reina said something interesting. She said that we could make a miracle happen. It's the same thing I said when this world began. Oh, wait. Huh? Oh, it's still KG, okay. At the same time, I said I could make a miracle happen, but I didn't say how. But Reina just clearly stated that. We can make a miracle happen if we work together. Yes! Miracles can happen when we work together! And what if there is no miracle? That means we haven't tried hard enough. If we all do the best we can, a miracle will happen for sure. That's true. Riku's right. People get stronger when they help each other. You can overcome any obstacle when everyone works together. Yep! You guys are wasting time standing around talking about this. Hinamizawa was fated to be submerged underwater, but 2,000 people got together and brought an end to that destiny. Bring an end to destiny? As villagers of Hinamizawa, we all know that miracles do happen. We'll win if we work hard together. I think you have no choice but to come with us now, Rika-chama. If you don't come, a miracle won't occur. Your absence will prevent it from happening. So it's going to be my fault? That's interesting. A miracle is something that we can make happen. But we need everyone's power to make that come true. Destiny can be defeated. Fate can be escaped from. This can happen with a miracle. A miracle can happen if we unite. Reina told me yesterday, you'll never come up with a solution if you think about everything by yourself. It somehow switched to Rika. We have to talk this out together. Don't let fate get the better of you. It's as fragile as a thin sheet of paper. How can you say that without knowing how stubborn fate can be? To me, a witch trapped within fate? For some reason, his words sounded very persuasive. He easily changed my fate to play the fishing game. In my previous life, Keiichi saved Reina from her devastating fate. As fragile as a thin sheet of paper? He's saying the world I've been struggling in for 100 years is easy to change? Keiichi made quite a fool out of me. Interesting. I'll go with you. That's more like you, Rika. Rika, are you sure? Hanyu looked at me with concern. She wanted to warn me I'd get hurt if I expected too much. I don't have any coins left to bet. I don't have anything to lose. This world is ending soon anyway. But it was the same in my previous life. I thought all was lost when Reina took over the school, but Keiichi turned everything around. He's saying that fate is as fragile and thin as a sheet of paper. I've given up on this world anyway, but I'm interested. They will betray you anyway. I'll get hurt as I see it happen to you. Don't worry. I'm not gonna get depressed anymore. I have no more tears left to shed. I know they can't save Satoko no matter what happens. That's why I'm doing this. It is the first time we've ever gone to the Child Consultation Center. Keiichi can't make any miracles happen. Hanyu spoke to me in a stern voice. Miracles are called miracles because they don't happen easily. If it can happen at any time, it's not a miracle. It's just something that was meant to be. I'm not expecting anything. I'm just interested. I'm curious how Keiichi is going to make his move after saying how easily he can change fate. Rika, please don't hurt yourself anymore. That's none of your business. Get out of here. I wasn't expecting anything. I was just trying to enjoy my last week alive, like watching a TV show. But I had to admit, I was possessed by a strange feeling. It was a little bit exhilarating. I was nervous, as if anticipating something. I'd felt the same way when Keiichi remembered the memories of the past in my previous life. I didn't have any coins left to make a bet, but I knew what this feeling meant. If I had a coin left in my heart, I would bet everything on this feeling. If it doesn't work after trying every option, we'll have no choice but to give up. There's no need for us to give up. Satoko's going to be saved. You'd better prepare a clean blanket. She's coming back to you soon, and I'd feel bad if she didn't have a soft bed waiting for her. I like that, Keiichi. Well then, let's go. You might tear apart fate like a thin sheet of paper after all. Yeah. Right now I feel like I could take on the ruler of hell. I'm going to make them change their decision. I stood up from my seat. Keiichi is a very good speaker. That's why I never get bored with him. I've been with him for 100 years, but he still keeps me entertained. We're going to the Child Consultation Center now. Do you want to come with us, Chi? I'm going to talk to the Board of Education. They're under the same branch of the government as the Child Consultation Center. It might help if I talk to them. After all, I'm working for the public, too. That's true. They might listen to what you say. Let's have her take care of that while we take care of our business. Let's fight. Alright! Let's go, everybody! Yeah! Yeah. Even knowing that everything is doomed, part of me felt like something good might happen. Hanyu told me it was only a waste of time. I felt the same way until a few minutes ago, but I'd become much more interested. I had no idea what would happen. I wanted to see how Keiichi was planning to defeat this destiny. I raised my fist in the air along with them and hurried to the exit. As for Satoko, she didn't come to school again today. Teppei called the school and told them she still had a fever. He said he's going to keep her at home for a few days until she gets better. Chi says that she thinks Teppei knows she called the consultation center. He must be worried that Satoko will rat him out if he lets her go to school. I don't want to think about it, but it's possible that Satoko has visible bruises by now. That could also be why he won't let her go to school. Everything was happening much earlier. Satoko's situation was worsening earlier than it did in my previous lives. But Keiichi killed him on the day of the Watanagashi. And didn't she come back 2 weeks before? How long are they gonna make us wait? Those people seem to be free. They should let us talk to them. Those are just the general office workers. We have to talk to the actual social worker responsible for the case. I wonder if they're busy because they have a lot of cases like this. I don't know. I wish they didn't have so many issues to deal with. This world is tragic. So many kids are being abused. After 30 minutes, they finally called my name. I wrote down my name at the registration, as Mion can't let them know she's from the Sonozaki family. I'm Ibara. My name was called. I went to the receptionist to find a uniformed older lady. She must be one of the office workers Mion mentioned. Was she really going to be the one dealing with us? Hello, Maibara. I see you're here with 4 other friends. How can I help you? The only thing I wrote on the registration was I wanted to talk about Satoko Hojo. Well, we're here to talk about Satoko Hojo's case. She from the Hinamizawa branch school called and made a report yesterday. We would like to discuss the case. Are you her friends? Yes, we're her classmates. Would you please give me a general summary of what you wish to discuss? I heard you guys put a hold on it because you determined that there wasn't any abuse happening. So we've come here today in order to explain Satoko's situation in more detail. I see. Please wait a few more moments. That was it from her, then. A real social worker should be coming here to talk with us. She was just asking basic information. With that done, she was talking on the phone and explaining to someone what I just told her. What did she ask? She asked me why I was here. She told me to wait a few more minutes. I hate waiting like this. Are those posters and advertisements you've been reading that interesting me? I see lots of flyers about abuse. I guess we came to the right place. Well, yeah, it's a child consultation center. Report the abuse before it escalates. Check out that slogan. Check it out. There's a bunch of posters with slogans like that in here. I guess that's what the child consultation center is for. Is it any help if it's inside the building though? Riko was right. They should be posting them over the city, not just inside the building. Maibara, thank you for waiting. Please go to room number 2. It's our turn. Let's go. As we walked, we saw rooms numbered 1 through 3. I thought we were going to be talking at the counter like you do at the bank. But they have individual rooms. I guess it's for privacy reasons. Most of the people who come here don't want them listening to their conversation. But I think abuse might be increasing because people try to keep the issue quiet. People tend not to talk about their family issues. Room number 2, it's this one. As I knocked, I heard the voice of a man telling me to come in. Hello. It was a very small room. Well, I should say it was narrow. It wasn't wide, but it was very long. There was a counter in the middle which split the room in 2. The man was sitting on the other side of the counter. He told us to take a seat, but there were only 2 chairs. I sat down since we were registered under my name. Mion wouldn't sit because she felt the Sonozaki sisters shouldn't be in the front. Reina tried to offer the seat to Rika, but she refused too, so Reina ended up taking it. It was such a tiny room that it was better for us to take a seat. It was very cramped with all 5 of us. I'm sorry, we usually expect to see the parents. So we only have 2 chairs. I understand that. So how may I help you today? Should I do the talking? Well, we're students from the Hinamizawa branch school, and we're Satoko Hojo's friends. The school reported she was being abused to the child consultation center last night, and I believe a social worker went to her house last night. We heard you put her case on hold. We're here today to explain how urgent the matter is. Mion nodded. It seemed like I was doing okay so far. What are you trying to explain to us? Will you please tell me? Well, I know it's only been 2 days since her uncle took her away, but it's only a matter of time before he starts hurting her. In fact, Satoko suffered terrible abuse at the hands of her uncle last year as well. We believe it's only a matter of time before that happens again. So we would like you to save Satoko from her uncle before it does. But from what we understand, the center has decided to wait and see, right? Are you going to neglect her? I can't believe that you left her there just because she's not getting physically abused. Who's going to be responsible when she really gets hurt? Shion probably didn't like how politely I was speaking to him. She was already flaring up with rage. It looked like Mion didn't want her to tear into him. However, she let Shion finish, as she'd get even more furious if we tried to stop her. The man seemed to be used to people losing their temper, and he continued without reacting to Shion's outburst. I would like to make it clear that we are still working on our case. The results are still pending. We are not abandoning or neglecting her. Working on our case. They're not abandoning her. They're currently reviewing options, I suppose. While their mature phrasing made me start to think it might be rude and harsh to say they were abandoning her, Reina quietly opened her mouth. But you left her there without doing anything last night. No one can ever fool Reina. Taking their time to review options was the exact same thing as abandoning her. The fact is, they left her in that house without taking any actions to prevent her from being abused. We sent a social worker to her house, and they met with her guardian. We cannot talk about the case any further for privacy reasons. However, we are not neglecting her. We are going to look after her and her father so they can have a healthy life together. He's not her father. He's her uncle. Are you sure you really did an investigation? Excuse me. You're correct. Their uncle and niece. Anyway, we'll be directing them so guardian and child can form a healthy relationship. Shion had pounced on his mistake immediately. I didn't think she needed to be so snappy, but at this point I was starting to understand how different their sense of urgency was from ours. Well, excuse me, but Satoko was living a happy life before, without any support from her uncle. First of all, her uncle disappeared for her life for a full year prior, and now he's returned and kidnapped her away. Isn't that a crime? It wasn't a kidnapping. It's the law that a child must live where their guardian appoints them to live. According to Article 821 of the Constitution, the legal guardian of the child is... He neglected Satoko for 1 year! How can he still be considered her guardian? Shion, that's what the court decided when her parents died of the curse of Oyashiro-sama. Are you serious? That guy is her legal guardian? Yes. I don't know how this specific article of law is written, but minors must abide by their guardians. In other words, every child has a guardian. They have to have one. That's Article 818 of the Civil Code. When Satoko's parents died, her aunt and uncle automatically became her guardians? Yes, the closest relative gets custody. It seems her aunt and uncle were Satoko's only relatives. If Satoko and Satoshi refused them, they could have had different guardian, though. But they were children of the Hojo family, the enemy in the dam conflict. No one was going to take care of them. Right? The enemy of... they were different from Rika. Lots of people wanted to be her guardian, but Father Kimiyoshi got custody of her. I knew that the Hojo family was in favor of the dam project, and the whole village hated her family for that reason. But I thought everything was over once they canceled the project and Satoko's parents died. Was I aware of the difference? Difference between how the villagers treat Satoko and how they treat Rika? The villagers don't abuse Satoko like her uncle. But maybe there were small thorns left in the village, and they were stinging Satoko occasionally. I can't say this too openly, but Satoko's family had more assets than her uncle's. And by becoming her guardians, they can gain control over those assets. That's why they shamelessly took over Satoko's home. Do you know where they used to live? It was this ridiculously tiny place. That's horrible! But this guardian neglected Satoko for over a year, right? Can he still claim custody of her? Can he? Well, in part 4, I forget if it's one before or after, Chapter 4 of the Civil Code, there are provisions for the loss of custody. The man opened a thick book on the counter and showed us the page. I didn't completely understand what it says, but it seemed that a parent can lose custody when they're being irresponsible. So the law can take away someone's right to be guardian. Wait a minute, it says something about court. Let me see. At the behest of the child's relatives or a public prosecutor, the family court may make a ruling for the loss of parental authority. What the heck is this? So we have to sit around and wait for a family court's ruling before he can lose custody? That's too slow. Well, if something urgent happens, we can temporarily protect her under our custody. We'll also need approval of the family court in that case. Here, Article 834 for the loss of parental authority doesn't apply to Teppei Hojo. It is a fact that the guardian, Teppei Hojo, abandoned his responsibilities as guardian for over a year. What's the center's opinion on that? I can't answer for privacy reasons, but the center requested an explanation on that matter as well. And you accepted his explanation? So you decided to wait and see? Like I've mentioned, we're currently working on this case. The safety of the child is our #1 priority, and we will make sure that she will have a healthy lifestyle in a safe environment. We weren't on the same page at all. They just weren't understanding the urgency. I've never met this Teppei guy. I only know about the situation based on what my friends told me and what she said. But I still understood very well. I understood something really bad was going to happen if we didn't take action now. She was being abused by her uncle last year. Are you sure that the same uncle can take care of her? You still have records from last year, don't you? I can't discuss her past record with you for privacy reasons, but we are taking everything into consideration. She didn't come to school yesterday, and she didn't come today either. He called the school and told them she has a cold, but don't you think that's a bit odd since she hasn't come to school since he showed up? That's true, but then she really might be sick. I think we should keep our eyes on her and see what happens. We just know that Satoko doesn't want to be with her uncle. Her uncle is forcing her to stay with him. Our social workers spoke with the child and made their decision after doing so. So that's it, isn't it? Are you not taking this case seriously because she made a false report long ago? I can't talk about that for privacy reasons. We're taking everything into consideration. Satoko is telling you that she's not being abused because she feels guilty about her brother Satoshi. She may have told you she's not being abused, but I don't believe that statement. Do you know that people can lose the will to seek help when they have depression? Ah! Stop making her excuses and hurry up and save her! I'm not going to forgive you people if something happens to her. You'll end up hurt if you don't do something while I'm asking politely. Stop it, Shion. You're making us look bad. I don't know what her uncle said to the social worker, but he's violent. Please don't be fooled by him. I just want to make that clear. So please speak with our social worker. Persuade them to call Save Satoko at once. We asked you to do this for us. Some of us were getting emotional, but Mion calmed them down, and Reina summed it up nicely. Someone should just say that they saw her with a bruise on her face. I stopped speaking to see what she was going to say next. You mean our caseworker? I understand your concerns. I will tell them Satoko's friends, 3, 4, 5 of her friends, came here and made an appeal to us. We will continue to work closely on this case, so please let us know when you have further information. Thank you for supporting the Child Consultation Center, and thank you for sharing your valuable time with us today. We were still in Okanomiya. We were in the city park, devoid of playing children, staring vacantly up at the madder red sky in silence. I feel like they didn't really listen to our story. But they also didn't try to kick us out. He's probably just the person who deals with complaints, not the actual social worker that deals with Satoko. That's why he was phrasing everything the way he did. What did you think about the whole thing, Mion? Well, it felt like we were wrestling with a tree. We didn't get pushed or pulled. It was the same as talking to a wall. That's not true. He said they will forward our information to the social worker. Like I said, he doesn't know Satoko in person, so he didn't really have any stake in it. So you think we accomplished something, Rena? I don't think it was a waste of time. But I don't think our passion won't be understood by the actual person working on the case. They'll just tell them that Satoko Hojo's 5 friends came and requested for them to take her under their custody. What about the social worker? Can't we talk to that person directly? I don't know. I heard it's very tough. I think it'd be difficult for us to meet him or her in person. Someone even threatened to hurt them if they didn't do anything while she was still asking them politely. According to Mion, there are a lot of problematic clients who show up at the consultation center. It's not a rare thing for them to get an aggressive visitor like Shion. It's so difficult to tell them how passionate we are. They might treat us coldly if they took our passion for simple anger. I thought you were used to talking with government officials, Mion. Can't you talk to them instead of me? It's not that she's good at talking. They just listen to her because she's Mion Sonozaki. You saw how they treated us today. If she announced herself as Sonozaki, we wouldn't have been in such a small room. We would have been speaking to the manager in the reception room. Right? Mion gave a vague smile and didn't comment. Mion's greatest weapon is her family name. Without that weapon, she's just as ordinary as the rest of us. I shouldn't be thinking about this, but if the Sonozaki family forgave Satoko's family, it would be really easy for them to save her. So, the Sonozaki family still hates the Hojo family? No one has publicly stated that we hate them, but it runs pretty deep. That hag of a grandmother is the one who hates the Hojo family. Her opinion hasn't changed since we were in the middle of the dam conflict. It's been so many years, but she still can't let go. Stop it, she! Satoko is Satoko! She's our precious friend. It doesn't matter what her last name is. She's not even saying anything about it. She's saying that her grandma is that way. She went quiet and there was silence for a while. Reina was right. Just like how Satoko's last name doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what Mion's last name is either. The important thing is that our friend is being abused right now. We have to do everything we can to save her from that situation. We all looked at the sky as we listened to the sound of cars passing by. We all felt hopeless. We had no idea what to do. Was what we did today going to help Satoko at all? It would have been better if they just kicked us out. That way we could have been angry. But after being treated politely like that, we had no choice but to back off and see what they're going to do. We were forced to just wait and see what happens. Everyone was trying to figure out what our next option was. I couldn't expect Chi to tell us everything was taken care of at the Board of Education. That would be too good to be true. What do we do? I muttered to myself, hoping that someone would respond with a good idea. But the silence reminded me that everyone was just as stuck as me. Kichi. Rika, I'm sorry. I was running my mouth up, but I have no idea what to do now. I don't believe this. What? As I looked at her, I realized the expression on her face was stronger than ever. You told Shion yesterday you didn't have a good idea at the moment. But you said you would figure something out. You told her to trust you. So I trusted you. I'm not going to believe it. I'm not going to believe that you would even mention that you have no idea. I'm not going to believe that. I could see tears in her eyes. Rika was sure I could do something about the situation. You said it. You said that fate is as fragile as a thin piece of paper. I'm going to believe your words. I still believe you, because you can easily defeat fate. So, please help. Help us escape from this fate. Help Satoko. Help her. A tear rolled down from the corner of her eye. My heart was feeling the same way. Oh my god, I'm like actually crying. Damn it. Damn it. Damn it. An innocent girl was becoming a prisoner of a tragic fate. She desperately needed help. I told them they could trust me. In other words, they could count on me. They could bet on me. Betting's not an easy thing. If I lost, they'd lose their coins too. What does it mean to trust someone? It's about making a bet on that person. It's about betting a coin. It's about betting hope. Trusting someone is tantamount to placing your hopes in them. I told Shion yesterday. I told her to trust me. I didn't say it just because I knew that those words meant something. But now, after betraying Rika and seeing her tears, I finally realized how serious it is. I looked at Shion. She was in a rage again. Mion tried to calm her down, but she didn't have any ideas either. How about Reina? She's always very reliable. I expected to see her strength. However, Reina also looked depressed. We didn't even know if what we did was meaningful. Reina looked down with a devastated expression on her face, since she couldn't come up with another option. Damn it! I have to do something! Reina's blue fire will melt iron. Mion can be strong when the wind is in our favor. Shion is the same way. They will move forward strongly when the wind is backing them up, but they grow weak when the wind is blowing against them. Despite the whole situation, Rika still believes in us. She believes we can do something if we come together. That's right, we agreed. We said to each other we could make a miracle happen if we worked together. What am I? If Reina's the blue fire, I'm the red fire. I burn brightly and give strength to everyone. That's right, I'm Keiichi. I'm the magician of words. I have to motivate everyone. The blue fire won't light up unless the red fire does too. When the red fire is lit, there will be wind. Mion and Shion will become stronger too. So what is Rika, water? Thank you. You just made me realize something, Rika. Now the flames inside of me are really starting to blaze. Keiichi. We can't give up. We're members of the strongest club ever. Nothing can stop us when we get together. I can't become depressed over a small thing like this. Rika woke me up. I just realized how serious it is to have people trust in me. Rika knew our personalities well, and she figured out just who should motivate first. Oh, I really am starting to burn up. Hey, Mion, stop being depressed. This is where we're supposed to get angry, man. Everyone looked at me with wide eyes as they turned at my powerful voice. They were both surprised and saddened. But waiting in anticipation, bleh. More and more clearly I could see it. This was Keiichi's role in this club. I don't think we did anything at the consultation center. Just like Reina was saying, they're just going to forward a small note saying that the five of us made a visitation. But being treated like that has lit the fires of our anger. You're right. It feels like they gave us the cold shoulder. We're trying to get them to realize how much danger Satoko is, and we have to fight now. We have no time to be sitting depressed in the park. But Keiichi, what are we supposed to do? Haha. Don't tell me you think we have no more options left. If this was a club activity, you guys would be losing right now. This is fun. I was feeling depressed too, but now I've got a burning passion in my heart. I feel like I was cheering myself up. Why was I being so sad? If I wanted to save Satoko, I had no time to rest. This was like the final seconds of the last round in a boxing match where we were at a disadvantage. If I stand here stupefied, I'll lose by indecision. So the only option is to press the attack. Was I supposed to give up just because I couldn't knock out the opponent with one punch? No. If I couldn't take him out in one, I'd have to throw 3, 2, 5. Opposite order. I'd have to try until I could finally knock him out. You're saying that we're going to go there tomorrow? Close, but not exactly. I have no idea what's on your mind. But it sounds very interesting. It isn't like our club to cry ourselves to sleep. We need to turn this headwind around. Yes, Mion's getting willpower back too. That's right, I agree with Kichi. I'm ashamed I was so depressed. Let's fight! What exactly are you trying to do? Remember, everyone, that man really pissed us off today, but he also told us what our next option is. He never thought he was giving us a hint. He made a huge mistake. On top of that, the next option is something I'm really good at. Anyways, we're going to end there for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. Remember, if you're watching on YouTube, click that like and subscribe button. I will see you all later. Au revoir!